Hi, my name is Cheyenne Summers, and I'm here today to talk to you about legally changing my last name. And no, I did not get married. But yes, I just did wake up. So this is pretty much going to be a part one of how and why I decided to change my last name and where Summers came from. I'm going to start out by saying that whether you were raised religious or not at all, we were all subconsciously indoctrinated somehow in many, many forms. We were all taught how to speak, how to behave, how to react to others, the decisions that were culturally appropriate for us. And it's through no fault of our own. It can come from books, movies, TV shows, celebrities, family, community, friends, from so many different places. And one of my favorite quotes that I will be asking myself till the day I die is in Untamed by Glennon Doyle, one of my favorite books ever. I think everyone should read it. She asks, "Who was I before I became what the world told me to be?" Let that just sink in for a second and really reflect on that question and give it time, because there's so much depth there. It's not something you're going to be able to answer in an afternoon. It's going to take a lifetime. So when I officially left being a Jehovah's Witness, I was able to put all my thoughts and opinions up on a pedestal and ask myself, do I really believe this, or does it come from sort of origin that I don't remember? And so through the process of peeling back all these layers of indoctrination, I no longer resonated with my name, which I never really did anyway, I suppose. But I was always a very firm, family person. Oh, I would never change my name, even though that's really cool because I don't want to offend my family. However, when I left being a Jehovah's Witness and that relationship was severed, I had that freedom. And although it's sad of being shunned and losing your family and all that, there is a certain freedom to it. How many times has your family gotten involved in your personal life, or made remarks to you, or gotten involved in your relationship, or have opinions about your relationship, or just about decisions that you're making in life in general? So having that severed, although hard, was so freeing. Eventually became the thought of, I would really love to change my last name. So I'm part of a Facebook group, and a lot of times we'll throw out hey, what's a good character name for this person going through X, Y, and Z? And so I made a post last May. I said, "Happy Saturday, last name suggestions for a girl that was abandoned by her family, making her own way in the world, left a cult / a symbol of freedom and a new chapter. Thanks." I got a few replies, and one that really stood out to me was Summers. And I actually should reach out to the person that posted that comment and tell them hey, you actually helped me in deciding my new last name. And that name really stuck with me. Not only, it's my favorite season. It represents warmth and light, sunshine. But I'm also in the summer of my life, really, right? That's kind of how I got the name Summers. I really do feel like it embodies who I am. And I have no regrets. I have no regrets at all. I love it dearly. It's definitely helped me be more confident and comfortable in my own skin, in my own name, and who I am, where I'm going. This journey of self-discovery is never ending, nor do I want it to ever end. It's really exciting. And no matter how much more I evolve, I will always be Cheyenne Summers, that my life is my own. No one controls me anymore. No one owns me. No one can tell me what to do. I am in the driver's seat, and I'm going to go where I want to go. My mom actually did reach out to me asking why I decided to change my last name. Now, her and my dad have been divorced since I was 3 or 4 years old. So it wasn't her last name that I had. So I don't think that really gives her the ability to care too much about me changing it. However, she was curious. I explained it to her in a way that I hope she was able to understand and relate with. I said, even if one day I were to get married or want to get married, still wouldn't change my last name for someone else's. And I completely understand why people do. I think sharing a last name with someone you love can be quite beautiful. If you're creating a family, I totally get that. But for myself, I never thought it reasonable to change my last name to just another man's last name, going from my father's to a husband's last name. So why not just create my own that lasts forever? I think subconsciously too, as a kid, seeing my mom go through a couple divorces, she had to deal with the process of changing her last name. Her identity was changing constantly. And even though if I ever were to make the decision to get married, and I hope it's only once, the person I'm dating now, my wonderful, supportive boyfriend, he completely understands that if we were to ever get married, that's something that I'm not really willing to compromise too much on, especially because I've already gone through the process of changing it. But prior to changing it to Summers, it was a discussion that I had to have with him of, hey, just so you know, this is really important to me, and here is why. And if you're with the right person, they will totally understand where you're coming from and hopefully be supportive of that. And thankfully, I'm with someone that is happy and excited for this process in my life, and that is there for me and constantly supportive. I hope some of you are able to understand that as well. I hope you're able to take something from it. And a lot of people, I feel, don't think about changing their last name, which is totally fine, especially if you love your last name. Mine was nothing like super special. It wasn't a decision that I took lightly. It wasn't quick. It took me quite a bit of time to really reflect and meditate on it. Is this really what I want to change it to? Like, it's going to be changed for forever. The only other last name that I went in between was Bloom. And ultimately, writing Summers felt way more natural, and what it kind of stood for also was really important to me. And actually, a few weeks ago, I was with one of my friends here in Colorado, and she's like, you know what? I was thinking, what was her last name before Summers? And she's like, and I couldn't remember. And that made me just glow. It made me so excited that enough time has gone by now to where, yeah, this is what people know me as. And this is the name I'm presenting to the world, and people are remembering it. And yeah. Of course, I love my immediate family and my dad, and I hope he understands. I've tried reaching out to him about it. No response, of course, which is fine. And I hope one day that if now he and my stepmom don't understand, that one day they will, or at least come to terms with it. I don't even know. But I can't waste my time too much thinking on how they feel about it, because then it would just take away the joy that I already have. So when I publicly announced changing my last name, like on all my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, so many of my friends, all the mail that I've gotten since then has been with my last name on all of it, and it's so cute and means the world to me. I get excited every time I order a package or get mail from a friend and I see my new last name on it. And this was the first one I got. Let me cover up my address. And it's so cute, and it was like on a box, and so I cut this out, put it up on a shelf so I could look at it every day because it just makes me smile. And even people that knew me prior to me changing my last name are like, you know, you're Cheyenne Summers, like that's your name, that suits you, like that's who you are. And that just means the world. So yeah, that's my story, and thank you so much for watching. I know changing your last name is not something that everyone wants to go through or feels like they have to go through, but it was part of my journey, and I'm really happy that I did it. In sharing my story with you, I hope you're able to take away something from it. And in a future video, I can go more into the legal process of things. As of right now, it is not official across the board on like passports, social security number, that sort of thing. With COVID, things have gone a little bit slow. Also now me living out in Colorado. But I would love to update you guys on what that process looks like for me, what I still have to go through. Maybe you're thinking about doing the same thing, or you're just curious. So let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos of story time, how and why I love being a Jehovah's Witness, and top 5 moments that woke me up from religion.
Talk to me nice.